Welcome everyone. I'm excited to kick off today's presentation with a focus on high energy and unlocking your full potential. We're going to explore how to master the art of achieving your goals, especially in the context of your IELTS journey. Today's main theme is your path to Band 9, Rocket, specifically focusing on IELTS writing mastery. Over the next few slides, I'll share strategies, tips, and insights to help you reach that top band score. So let's get started and make this a powerful step toward your success. Let's take a closer look at the ideas and arguments behind each task. When we consider data and visuals, they play a crucial role in supporting our points and making complex information more understandable. Focus is key here. Since 2/3 of your score depends on how well you develop your ideas and arguments, it's essential to organize them clearly and convincingly. The first part, which is about ideas and arguments, accounts for around 2/3 of your overall score. This means your ability to present strong, logical reasoning is vital. On the other hand, data and visuals, which make up 1/3 of the score, help reinforce your arguments and keep your audience engaged. In terms of length and time, Task 2, the essay, typically requires about 250 words and takes around 40 minutes to complete. It's more focused on presenting a well-developed argument. Meanwhile, Task 1, the report, is shorter, about 150 words, and usually takes around 20 minutes. Overall, this feature highlights the big picture. Understanding the differences between Task 1 and Task 2 is key to preparing effectively. Whether you're crafting a detailed report or an argumentative essay, knowing how to balance ideas, data, and visuals will help you succeed in both tasks. When evaluating your writing, it's important to consider whether your sentences are diverse, combining both simple and complex structures to keep the reader engaged. Also, make sure your punctuation and spelling are spot on, as these are fundamental to clarity and professionalism. Next, look at your vocabulary. Are you using a wide range of accurate words? Incorporating less common words and collocations can really elevate your writing and demonstrate a strong lexical resource. Then, consider the flow of your writing. Does it progress logically? Are your paragraphs and sentences well linked, making it easy for the reader to follow your ideas smoothly? Finally, ensure you've addressed all parts of the question clearly. Providing a well-rounded overview or a clear position helps demonstrate task achievement. Remember these 4 pillars: grammar and accuracy, lexical resource, coherence and cohesion, and task achievement are the keys to writing success. When combined thoughtfully, they create compelling, well-structured, and effective writing. Let's focus on the trends and differences in our data. The goal here is to effectively summarize, compare, and report the key features we've uncovered. When analyzing data, I like to think about processes and maps that help us visualize the information clearly. We often use pie charts and tables to show proportions and detailed figures, while bar charts and line graphs are great for illustrating changes over time or comparisons between groups. Understanding the types of visuals at our disposal is essential because they each serve a specific purpose in telling the story behind the numbers. For this task, our main objective is to report the facts accurately and clearly. By doing so, we can better interpret what the data is telling us and ultimately make more informed decisions. Remember, the goal is not just to present numbers, but to communicate insights that drive understanding and action. All right, let's take a look at this chart. It shows the number of cars sold by 3 different manufacturers across various regions in 2023. As we analyze this, I want you to notice some key points. First, you'll see that manufacturer A leads in most regions, especially in North America and Europe, indicating strong market presence there. Meanwhile, manufacturer B has a noticeable boost in the Asian market, suggesting a regional strength. Manufacturer C, on the other hand, has more modest sales overall, but performs relatively better in certain areas like South America. When we compare these figures, it becomes clear that each manufacturer has carved out its own regional niche. This helps us understand how different strategies or product offerings might align with regional preferences. Overall, This chart illustrates not just the sales volumes, but also highlights regional trends and competitive positioning in 2023. These insights are valuable as we think about market strategy and growth opportunities moving forward. Looking at this graph, we can see the percentage of people using the internet in 3 different countries from 2000 to 2020. Overall, there's a clear upward trend across all 3 nations, which shows how internet adoption has grown significantly over these 2 decades. In the early 2000s, the country represented by the blue line had the lowest percentage, starting around 10%, while the country with the red line was already ahead with about 30%. The green line, meanwhile, was somewhere in between, around 20%. As we move toward 2010, all 3 countries show rapid growth. The blue line catches up quickly, reaching roughly 50%, whereas the red and green lines approach 70 and 60% respectively. By 2020, the red country leads with the highest internet usage, almost 90%, indicating very high adoption. The green country also shows impressive growth, reaching around 80%, and the blue country has increased substantially to roughly 70%. This comparison highlights how different countries can experience varied rates of technological adoption, but overall, the trend is towards increased internet usage everywhere. It also underscores the importance of connectivity in modern society, which ties back to the broader topic of technological progress and global integration. Now, let's move on to slide 7, where we'll look at the advantages and disadvantages of the problem and proposed solutions. It's important to consider both sides of the discussion to get a well-rounded understanding. When we talk about the advantages, we're focusing on the benefits or positive outcomes that could result from a particular solution. Conversely, the disadvantages highlight potential challenges or drawbacks we need to be aware of. Understanding both perspectives allows us to have a balanced view, which is essential when forming our own opinion. As we discuss these points, I want you to think about how each factor impacts the overall goal of finding an effective and sustainable solution. Remember, our aim is to present a clear position, supported by strong evidence. By weighing the pros and cons carefully, we can make more informed decisions and craft arguments that are both convincing and thoughtful. So, as we explore these advantages and disadvantages, keep in mind the bigger picture of how they connect to our overall discussion and objectives. I strongly believe that technology has, overall, simplified many aspects of our lives. For example, communication has become much easier and faster thanks to smartphones and instant messaging. We can stay connected with loved ones or colleagues regardless of where we are in the world. Additionally, technology has improved access to information, making learning and problem-solving more efficient. However, I also acknowledge that some people feel overwhelmed by the rapid pace of technological change. They might find it challenging to keep up or feel that constant connectivity blurs the boundaries between work and personal life. In my opinion, the key is how we choose to use technology. When used wisely, it can definitely make our lives more manageable and enriched. But if we're not mindful, it can add layers of complexity and stress. Ultimately, I believe that with proper boundaries and a balanced approach, technology can serve as a powerful tool to simplify our daily routines rather than complicate them. Let's start by looking at the advantages of working from home. Many people find that working remotely offers greater flexibility, allowing them to better balance their work and personal lives. It can also reduce commuting time and costs, which saves both time and money. Additionally, some individuals find they are more productive in a quiet, personalized environment without the usual office distractions. However, it's important to recognize that remote work can sometimes lead to feelings of isolation or disconnection from colleagues, which might impact teamwork and communication. Now, turning to the other side, working in an office has its own clear benefits. Being physically present in the workplace often fosters better collaboration and spontaneous idea sharing, which can boost creativity and problem-solving. It also helps build stronger team relationships and a sense of community, which can be motivating and improve morale. On top of that, working in an office provides clear boundaries between work and personal life, making it easier to switch off at the end of the day. Nonetheless, some may argue that the traditional office environment can be less flexible and sometimes less comfortable than working from home. In my view, both options have their merits, and the best choice might depend on individual preferences and job requirements. Ideally, a hybrid approach that combines the benefits of both could offer the most balanced and effective solution. Ultimately, the key is to find a way to work that maximizes productivity and personal well-being, no matter where that might be. Let's talk about collocations, which are pairs or groups of words that naturally go together. Using the right collocations makes your language sound more fluent and authentic. For example, instead of just saying big impact, you'd say significant impact, which sounds more natural. When discussing changes or trends, there are useful words to describe increases, like rise, grow, rocket, or surge. Each of these can add variety and precision to your language. Similarly, for decreases, you can use fall, decline, plummet, or drop. These words help you describe downward movements clearly and vividly. The key is to avoid repetition by choosing different words for similar ideas, which keeps your language fresh and engaging. This approach not only enriches your vocabulary, but also allows you to express ideas more precisely, supporting your overall message effectively. Remember, using these collocations correctly enhances your lexical resource and makes your communication much more powerful. Although it might seem simple, paying close attention to accuracy is crucial because it ensures our message is clear and trustworthy, which means taking the time to double-check spelling and punctuation helps prevent misunderstandings. While passive voice can sometimes make sentences more formal, it can also make them less direct, so we need to decide when it's appropriate to use it. Understanding different sentence types, such as simple, complex, or compound sentences, gives us the flexibility to communicate more effectively. And finally, aiming for grammatical variety keeps our writing engaging and dynamic, which is key to maintaining our audience's interest throughout the presentation. Good luck, everyone. Remember, you can do it. Stay positive and confident throughout your writing. It's really important to stay on topic, so keep your ideas focused on the question. Use linking words like however and furthermore to connect your ideas smoothly and make your writing flow better. Always take a couple of minutes to check your work. This helps catch any mistakes and improve clarity. Before you start writing, spend some time planning. About 5 minutes should do to organize your thoughts and structure your essay. And as a final tip for achieving a Band 9, focus on developing your ideas fully and using a variety of sentence structures. Keep these tips in mind, stay calm, and give your best. You've got this.